Hello everyone, Soberoni of G&A Reviews here, back with another GSSR guide. This time we're going to be taking a look at the upcoming 2023 New Year's celebration event in FGO. Along with the anniversary event, New Year's is always one of the most hyped events in all of FGO. We always get some really cool rewards, updates, new servants, of which I already have a spotlight for, so make sure you check that out in the description down below, and of course the annual New Year's GSSR. And this video will help you figure out which of those guaranteed SSR banners you should be rolling. Now for those of you who are unfamiliar with what a GSSR is, it stands for Guaranteed SSR Banner, and as the name implies, it is a special banner that you can roll which guarantees an SSR servant out of a pool of set servants. These banners usually contain tons of limited servants, so they are a great way to pick up a rare and powerful servant. There are multiple GSSR banners however, and you will only be able to choose one, and you can only roll on that banner one time. It also costs 15 paid quartz to roll the banner, so deciding which of the gachas to roll is extremely important. So if you're ready to ring in the new year with some luck, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and ring my bell so you can catch all of my FGO videos and you can help out the channel. Also, as is the Christmas tradition on this channel, we will be doing a gift card giveaway sometime this month, so if you want to join and maybe get a free GSSR roll, definitely make sure you're subscribed and following us on Twitch. But with that said, let's take a look at the New Year's GSSR banners. The GSSR banners will be dropping this New Year's on January 1st, and just like with all the other GSSRs, this one is going to be split into multiple categories for you to choose from. This time, the servants on each banner will be split by class and gender. That means that, for example, all the limited female knight class servants will be on one banner, while all the limited male knights will be on another. It does get a bit more complicated though, since there are just so many female servants in FGO, each class is actually split into two banners. So there are going to be two all-female knight banners, two all-female cavalry banners, and two all-female extra class banners, each with a different set of limited female characters so that there is no overlap. The male servants will only have one banner depending on their class though, so one banner for all the male knights, one for all the cavalry, and one for all the male extra class servants. That gives us a grand total of 9, yes 9, different GSSR banners to choose from. And remember, you can only roll one. Now obviously a large part of deciding which banner to roll will come down to which servants you already have, so that decision is going to be different for everyone. However, from a general gameplay perspective, some of these banners are far better in value than others. So I'm going to be analyzing them based on how strong the featured servants are, how rare they are, and of course the odds of pulling the best ones. I'll also be comparing all these same class banners side by side so that you can get a good idea of which one is the best if you're rolling for a specific class. But as always, you should roll for whichever servant is your favorite, whether they're your waifu or your husbando, because that just makes the game more fun. But in any case, let's dive into these gacha. When it comes to the knight banners, I think these are best for players who are new to FGO or who are looking for a solid servant to build around. Knight class servants in general usually have higher than average stats, are well balanced, and contain many of the strongest servants in the game. So this is the safest set of banners that you can roll on. As for which of these banners you should roll, I would recommend Red Knights 1, aka the first female banner. It has the best balance of possible servants, with all 7 of the featured servants being fairly strong. It contains 3 of the best buster farmers for each knight class, with Ibuki for sabers, Ishtar for archers, and Aresh for lancers. All 3 of them are top tier servants who are only going to get better with the upcoming supports we'll get next year. But even if you don't pull those 3, both Okita and Archer Arturia are among the best single target servants in the game for quick and arch respectively. Rin is a strong lancer with high utility for crit teams, and Saber Shiki is one of the rarest servants in FGO with extremely few rate ups. And she can also be pretty useful for both farming and exploiting some challenge quests. The other 2 knight banners are also good and feature some top tier servants like Musashi and Super Orion, but they just don't match the all-around quality of the first knight banner, and they're a bit more risky because of it. So if you're going for a knight class servant, then your aim should be to pull either Ibuki, Aresh, or Ishtar from that first banner. The cavalry banners are a bit more tricky to recommend because the quality between cavalry servants varies wildly, and the best cavalry servants are evenly distributed between the the banners, which makes them all very risky to roll. I only recommend picking one of these banners if you already have a very strong offensive servant and are just desperate for a top tier support to pair them with. So if that sounds like you, then I would suggest pulling Red Cavalry 1 over the other two. And that's mostly just because it has Castoria. Castoria is still the best support in all of FGO and is the grand prize of any GSSR. However, even if you don't manage to pull Castoria, you can still get lucky and pick up a good consolation prize like Kama, who's one of the best quick DPS servants, or Da Vinci and Musashi Zerker, who are two of the best farmers in the game. The other two Cavalry banners are much more risky. Sure, you can potentially pull a Scotty or an Arjuna Altar if you're lucky, but the odds are more likely that you'll get a not as impressive servant because the banners are a bit saturated. Personally, I wouldn't recommend rolling any of the Cavalry banners unless you're a seasoned player that knows exactly what you want and you're willing to take a high risk to get it. But if you really need a good support, then your aim should be the first Cavalry banner to pull Castoria. And last but not least, we have the extra class banners. And these are the ones that I would recommend if you already have everything else. If you already have a top tier support like Scotty or Castoria, and you already have a strong offensive servant to carry you, then you should consider rolling one of these banners to flex out your roster. A lot of the extra class servants are more of a luxury to have, and many of them require very specific team comps or situations to be used most effectively, so they're not really the best for newer players. That being said though, many of the strongest servants in the entire game fall into the extra classes, and all of these banners have equally powerful featured servants, so it's hard to recommend just one. If I had to pick one as the best of the extra class banners, I would recommend Red Extra 1. It has the best farmer in all of FGO with Space Ishtar, and a bunch of top tier servants like Melt, Himiko, and Summer Bibi, who will be receiving a major buff soon. Even King Protea, Yang, and Abby can be very strong in the right team comps. Really, the only landmine in this banner is Summer Abby, but at least you'd be getting the best girl if you roll her. The other two extra banners are by no means bad. In fact, you can argue that they're just as good. The other red banner has both Kiaras, both of which are among the best art servants in the game, as well as arguably the best foreigner with Van Gogh. And the white extra banner has the best lineup of quick servants with the 3 best quick loopers in the game all on the same banner, which makes it the best one for anyone using Scotty teams. So if you're trying to roll one of the extra banners, it comes down to your own personal taste more than anything else. All 3 of the extra banners are good, but I think Red 1 has the highest ceiling with Spishtar and Melt. Phew, and that's all of them. There are a lot of different GSSR banners to choose from this New Year's, so I hope this video helped make the decision a bit easier for you. And if you're still stumped and don't know which one to roll, I would say the best GSSR banner across the board is the Red Knights 1. It has the best balance of high quality and rare servants. You can't go wrong with rolling any of them. And if you manage to pull either Ibuki, Ishtar, or Aresh, which you have a little under 50% chance of doing, then you're perfectly set up for the Buster meta when Vitch and Oberon drop later this year. But that's just my 2 cents. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and let me know which GSSR you plan to roll. As always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and consider subscribing if you really enjoyed the video. Follow us over on Twitch and Twitter, and join the party on our Discord, all linked in the description down below. And until next video, this is Soberoni, signing out. Later.